What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about REN. Now, REN has fallen hard from like what its all-time high was. I actually still think REN can break a new all-time high in the next bull cycle. I actually think it's real quality. It's got a little tarnished in, I suppose, or certainly it's got damaged by the fact that Alameda were a big investor. But I still think this has got a really interesting run potential in it. So I want to break this down for why, because this could be immense amounts of money. Before I get into it though, if you are brand new to the channel, you probably don't know me. Well, you wouldn't know me because it's brand new to the channel. You wouldn't know what I've done. So these are the first 26 coins I spoke about when I made this channel. I've been in the market for 8 years, but I made the channel a couple of years ago. The first 26 coins I owned when I made the channel. Had you put in $100 into each of these when I released videos about them, and you'd done everything wrong as an investor and never sold them, just ignored them and rode them down into recession, you'd still be in profit for around, 8K, give or take. Doing everything wrong. Profit 8K. But if you had sold these coins last year when the markets flew up, like I did, you could have made 123K. It's a massive difference between doing the right thing and the wrong thing. This is what happens when you invest in a bear cycle and then you sell in a bull cycle. Now it's a bear cycle. It's a bear cycle right now, guys. So if you want to see the coins I'm buying in this bear cycle right now, go to copymycrypto.com. On that site, I share my portfolio. I let the members know anytime I buy a coin. I let the members know anytime I sell a coin. I actually do videos every day talking about the markets if that interests you. But a lot of the members just go on to see exactly what I'm in, copy along. That's the premise. We have tutorials set up so that anyone that wants to get into crypto can. And these are the same tutorials I send off to friends and family that want to get into crypto but don't know where to start. It goes through exchanges and everything else. And look, you'll notice Phantom is top of that list. If you'd have put in $100, it would have gone up, you'd have made 67,700. If you'd have put in $1,000, you'd have made 677 grand. If you'd have put in $2,000, you'd have been a millionaire. I will find another Phantom, and when I do, I'm going to go onto the site and tell the members all about it. I'm not going to do another Udemy course. So if you want to get in on the next big crypto, you've got to go onto the site and check it out. Everything on the site, by the way, is verifiable because it's all on the YouTube channel. And the link, guys, is in the description. Right, REN. REN is a really, really, really interesting project. It's very different from a lot of the stuff out there. Now, REN is an open protocol built to provide interoperability and liquidity between different blockchains. The whole premise is about bringing Bitcoin to DeFi. So if you own Bitcoin or other digital assets, it might not be obvious that you can use them in DeFi. That's what REN tries to do. So REN's virtual machine is a protocol that brings interoperability to DeFi. The easiest way to imagine REN is to think of a custodian that holds your digital assets as they move between blockchains. So you give Bitcoin to REN, it holds that Bitcoin and then mints Bitcoin as an ERC20 on Ethereum. So you always get with a 1-to-1 ratio. So you always get back the same amount of REN Bitcoin that you would get as Bitcoin. The approach that they've taken is effectively, once they've created that ERC20 of Bitcoin, that can now be implemented into DeFi protocols. And whether that's in a particular DeFi protocol or a staking protocol, whatever it is, it can be implemented. So the REN token is used as a bond to run a node, which powers the entire network. So they have a decentralized network of dark nodes, and they're permissionless. This is to prevent the forging of huge numbers of identities. So good behavior bond of 100,000 REN is required to run a dark node. As a result, this prevents malicious adversaries from running an unbounded node. So the network in and of itself is very, very secure. The requirements for running a dark node are 100,000 REN, staked as collateral, and that in and of itself secures the node. And they are, to be fair, very secure. They've not had issues. Now, they're looking to power, their drive is powering the multi-chain. And if you integrate REN into your dApp, it allows you to bring additional interoperability along with wrapped versions of Bitcoin. Well, technically wrapped, I suppose, but they're becoming ERC20s. So REN by numbers has done insane volume. The volume transacted over the REN protocol has been over 13 billion. The value minted has been 65 million. Dark node, if you run a dark node, you can get nearly 21% APY. And they're integrated on a number of different places pretty damn well. They also have 11 chains connected and 30 assets supported with just simply one underlying blockchain. So they have really set up, and in a very short space of time, by the way, done quite a lot. They launched in 2018, but they ran, very, very low price for a long time before rallying immensely in the previous bull cycle up to about $1.80, give or take. And obviously there are a few issues, not least of which is, look, Alameda are heavily invested. That's already been a problem and could be a bigger problem because Alameda, are dead. They are dead. So, if they decide to dump on the market, or if they already have, that would explain a lot of the price capitulation that REN has experienced. Obviously, since the revelations about FTX, the price has nearly halved. And if Alameda have yet to dump their overall tokens as well, this is probably going to get worse. Now, REN 1.0 will be sunset within 30 days. So anyone that's using REN 1.0 need to bridge back their REN assets to their native chain as soon as possible. So they've actually posted an update about the Alameda situation. So how REN will move forward from Alameda. And this is worth noting, by the way, because obviously if anyone that's a REN holder would be concerned about this. So there we go. So early last year, Alameda acquired REN in a partnership with the previous REN leadership to secure long-term development funding. Alameda has since been funding the development team on a quarterly basis. Last week, the FTX group, which Alameda falls under, commenced Chapter 11 proceedings. Therefore, the REN development team only has funding until the end of this Q4. The goal of the REN team has always been to launch an open source and community-run version of the REN network and work towards this goal that they call REN 2.0. It's a new architecture based on Geth with a new implementation of Frost. I want to get to what their next steps are. So, to get to the REN 2.0 stage with full community control, the REN development team will need to secure additional funding. This is currently being explored in a manner that would also benefit the REN community the most. As talks with investors proceed, we will share the opportunities that are the most promising to the community through ongoing discussions with the community on which opportunities seem the most promising. When ready, a formal governance vote will take place. Now, that is a good sign for me. Obviously, they got wrecked with the Alameda thing a little more. I still think this can run well. I would not be surprised to see this run up to about $4. Because look, fundamentally, people are going to want to utilize Bitcoin in DeFi. Fundamentally, REN is already integrated with Avalanche and Polkadot. REN is actually very, very, very connected with a multitude of projects within the space. It is a strong project. Right now, priced at like 7 cents, I still think it can run back up to $4. But funding is necessary. So you do really, really, really need to pay attention, because if they do land funding, take a look at who they're being funded by. I'm sure they're going to do their due diligence to make sure that they don't get cut up like they have done with Alameda. But I think this is one that can actually still do quite a lot of gains, as long as they can get the necessary funding to launch mainnet 2. If they do that, they've got a real shot. But if they can't get that funding, mainnet 2 is probably not is gonna be backdate, or is gonna take a lot longer to come to fruition, which means the development of the ecosystem is going to take a lot longer to push forward. So you do have to be aware of the current variables. And if they don't secure funding, and if they don't get to mainnet 2, then obviously it's not going to do the gains I'm talking about. But if it can do those things, there's still a real shot of this having some immense success. It's an interesting one. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this can still do a massive run? Because Bitcoin integrated into DeFi was insanely valuable and insanely worthwhile in the past year. And a lot of projects benefited from the additional liquidity that it brought to DeFi protocols. So it just takes... But I suppose that, I mean, it boils down to this. Do you think they're worthy of being funded? First of all, which I think they are. They've done enough to show that. Secondly, are they going to be able to secure enough funding to push their ecosystem development? Because if they can't, they won't grow. And if they don't grow, they can't succeed. So while I say $4, there's a lot that has to happen for that to hit $4. A lot. So I'm saying that very clearly. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. And guys, if you want to see the coins I own right now, the coins that I've been buying up in this bear cycle, go to copymycrypto.com. I found the majority of these, nearly all of them, in a bear cycle. And then from bear to bull, you can see the gains. Bear cycles are the best time to invest. There's no doubt about that. If you want to see what I'm buying right now, go to the site, read through it. I share with the members anytime I'm buying a coin or selling a coin in real time. And guys, there are tutorials, so if you have no idea about crypto or where to start, the tutorials will help. They're the same ones I send friends and family. And you can see Phantom. Phantom went up 677 times. That wasn't fluke. It was the only Udemy course ever. I will find another Phantom, and when I do, I'm going to tell the members all about it so that they know what I'm putting into it, what percentage of my portfolio it reflects, and what I think it can achieve. If you want to make those kind of gains, go read the site now, guys. The link is in the description. Take it easy, folks. Bye-bye.